Hey YouTube, this is Stardust Sun here. I'm bringing you guys a new deck profile. I'm going to be doing a deck profile over my Dark Magician deck. I had this deck for a while, and I recently got some new cards to upgrade it. And also, since I have never done a deck profile of this deck on my channel, I wanted to do one now. And also, since I updated for more modern times, got some new cards. So I've bring back my Dark Magician deck. Anyways, enough of me talking about it, and let's go straight into the deck. But yeah, also to let you guys know, this deck does not have a side deck, but you could make one for it. I just don't make one for this because technicality, my real competitive deck is my Pendulum deck, so I don't have a side deck for this. Plus also, if I do, I need more cards, and I don't have enough to make it. But if you guys want to, you guys could make a side deck. Also, I want to let you guys know this list is not going to stay the same. It might change with new cards releases or whenever I feel like switching out some cards. But yes, this deck will change. And also, if it does, I might do an update video. Anyways, enough of me talking about that, and let's go straight into the deck. Alright, so, first of all, since this is a Dark Magician deck, we are going to be playing 3 Dark Magicians himself. This is a Yugi's Ace monster, and also the most important card in this deck, since it is a Dark Magician deck. But yeah, we play 3 of them, because you're going to be using them for a lot. Also, you're going to be using them with Dragoon, because we do play Dragoon in this deck. Alright, next up we got 3 Apprentice Losing Magician. This is a really good card because you can actually special summon it by discarding a card, and when you do, she can actually automatically let you search a Dark Magician from your deck. Knowing that, she's also like honest, so if your magician is attacking and you don't have enough attack points, you can discard her and then your monster will gain 2,000 attack. So it's honest, and also it's a really good way to get your Dark Magician. Next up, we have another searcher for Dark Magician, and it's a classic one, Skilled Dark Magician. So pretty much what this card does, whenever you activate a spell or your opponent activates a spell, it gets 1 spell counter, so when you get to 3, you sacrifice it, and then you can get a Dark Magician. But yeah, this is another great card to get, and also it's a level 4, so you can actually do Exceed plays for rank 4s. Next up, we got Magician's Rod. This is actually a really good card for searching out your Magician cards. Mostly like Dark Illusion, Dark Magic Attack, or that one, 1009. So pretty much this card helps you get to your Dark Magician spell cards and trap cards quicker. Next up, of course, we're playing a Dark Magician deck, and we can't play a Dark Magician without 2 Dark Magician Girls, just because it's Dark Magician Girl. Also, she does gain attack points for every time you have Dark Magicians in your graveyard, so she can get pretty beefy. Next up, we have 2 Magician of Dark Illusion. This is a good card because it can special summon itself. Know that, I think it can also revive a Dark Magician from your graveyard. And also, it also is a Dark Magician, as its name. So you definitely play fusions here, so this counts as a Dark Magician. So it's also good for Dragoon. And then we got 2 Magician's Robe. Pretty much this card also lets you get out your Dark Magician. Pretty much you discard a spell trap, and then you can summon a Dark Magician from your deck. So, really good card. Robe and Rod is really important cards. And yes, we do, like I said, we do play Dragoon. So we have 1 Red Eyes Black Dragon. Okay, next up we have the spells. We have 3 Dark Magical Circle. This is definitely a good card for searching out Dark Magicians or a Dark Magician spells and traps. Knowing that, whenever you special summon Dark Magician, you can actually banish one of your opponent's cards. So it's a really good card for getting rid of threats, and also a good card for searching out your Dark Magician cards. And since we do play Fusions and Dragoon, we have 2 Polymerizations. A good old classic fusion card. Next up, we got 2 Pot Of Dualities. Now this is a card I kind of want to take out. I want to put 2 Pot. I recommend you guys put 2 Pot Desires instead. Sadly, I don't have enough copies, so that's why I put 2 Pot Dualities. But I do want to take this out and put Pot Desires whenever I get enough copies. But yeah, 2 Pot Dualities for now. But I recommend that you guys put Pot Desires instead. Alright, next up we got 2 Cosmic Cyclone. This card's really good for dealing with back row. Definitely now, since a lot of cards activate from the graveyard. This does not send that card to graveyard, it banishes instead. So then they can't use it in the graveyard. So this is really good for back row, and also it deals with threats, so you don't have to worry about sending them to the graveyard, because it banishes them instead. Next up, we got 2 Illusion Magic. This card actually lets you search Dark Magician at 2 copies, so all you do is tribute a Spellcaster and get 2 Dark Magicians. So Yep, there's a lot of ways in this deck that can let you add Dark Magician to your hand. Next up, we have the classic Dark Magic Attack. This is a good card for clearing your opponent's back row, so if they have any sets, any traps, or anything, you can just completely wipe out when you have Dark Magician on the field. So a really great card. It's pretty much like a giant Trunade for Dark Magician. Next up, we have our ones. We'll play one Raigeki. So a really powerful card because it just blows up your opponent's field completely of monsters. So you're free into attack. Plus it's a spell, so you can get counters on the skilled Dark Magician. Next up, we have Monster Reborn, because Monster Reborn is such a powerful card. You can just bring back monsters. Know that you can bring back monsters from your opponent's side, so it's good for link plays, exceed plays, or you just need to have a Dark Magician on the field. You can just do it this way. And of course, since we play fusions, Super Poly, one of the best polymerization cards out there. Know that you can also use your opponent's monsters. And since a lot of meta decks like Dragon Link are all mostly dark monsters, you can actually take one of your opponent's monsters and go into Dragoon, or, you know, just take anything. This is a really good card. Next up, we have traps. We have 2 Magician Navigation. Pretty much just lets you special summon Dark Magician, knowing that you can also summon another Dark Magician. So technically, this is a good card for going to your rank 7 plays. Now after that, we have 2 Eternity Soul. This card actually protects your Dark Magicians. Know that you can special Dark Magician from your hand or graveyard. Also that you can add a Dark Attack or 1,000 Knives. So this lets you search the Dark Attack where you can blow up. Also, it lets you 1,000 Knives that we don't have 1,000 Knives, but more importantly, it protects your Dark Magicians from any of your opponent's card effects. The only thing there is a downside. If that does go away, I think it destroys your own monsters. Next, we got a new card that just recently came out called Destined Rivals. This is kind of part of the reason why I wanted to update my Dark Magician deck, because of this and another card. This card actually negates all your opponent's card effects, so pretty much it's safe for you to do your own plays. I thought it was pretty cool that they had that for Blue Ice and Dark Magician. Now we're into the extra deck. We're going to have Red Ice Flare Metal Dragon. This is a really powerful card. And also it does a lot of damage because when your opponent activates a card, they take 500. Know that this card cannot be destroyed by battle. So it's really hard to get off the board. Know that your opponent's going to be taking damage if they're activating a lot of monster effects. Next up, we got a Gold Good Classic, number 11 Big Eye. This card was such a threat back in there in the Dragon Lords area with Prophecies and that. This card really was super strong, and I still believe it's super strong because this card can actually take your opponent's monsters, so you can take threats away from your opponent, or you can take them and use them for like Exceed Summoning, Link Summoning, or Synchros. We don't have no Synchros, but you could do that. But this is such a powerful card, so we play one of them. Next up, we have Ebon High Magician. Pretty much this card lets you play traps and spells directly from your hand during your opponent's turn. This card's really good for your spells, so you can automatically just activate them straight away. So it makes them even quicker. And then we got another monster, Ebon Illusion Magician. This card actually lets you special summon Dark Magician, so this card's really good for getting out Dark Magician. You have a lot of cards in here that helps you get out Dark Magician. Next we have Norito, the Mortal Leader. This is a good card because it's a form of negation. You know that it's a spellcaster, so it kind of goes good for one of our fusions I'm going to be showing you guys. Alright, we got Maestroke, the Symphony. Really good rank 4 because it actually turns one of your opponent's monsters to defensive, so if you need to run over something, he can do it. I actually use this card a lot. And this one is number 39, Utopia. This card's just great because it's 2500. Know that it cannot be destroyed because it's ability. So it's just a great wall blocking if you need to. Also, you can just, you know, it's Utopia. Next, we have Castel Skyblaster. This is a really great card because you can actually bounce stuff back. So if your opponent has a threat, you can just get rid of it easily. Unless your opponent has a hand drop. Next up, we got the one famous Gagaga Cowboy. This card's famous. The reason why is because it's known to end games, and that's why we have it in here. So if you just need to get a couple extra damage in, either before time, or if your opponent's like really low, this guy would do the job for you. Alright, next we have our fusions, and probably since I have those polymerizations, all that stuff, we have the one and only Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. This is a really powerful card. It really was dominating the OCG format, and it's not really do much here, but since we are having a Dark Magician deck, why not put him, because he uses Dark Magician. So we have one Red Eyes Dragoon. Then we have Quintet Magician. This is a really powerful card since we're running mostly all spellcasters. When he's summoned, he just destroys all your opponent's monsters when he's summoned. And he's just a very, very big boy. So, big attack and also a good board wipe. Next up, we also got the Dark Magicians. This is one card that actually gave me the reason why to update besides the Destined Rivals. This card's really cool looking. Know that I actually had to go get the sleeves for it. But yeah, this card actually lets you draw cards and also helps with your spells and traps. This card's just really awesome. Know that it has really cool artwork. Alright, now we're into our Link monsters, and like I said, we have Dragoon. That means we have the other package, Predaplant, Anaconda. This card helps us just go straight into our fusions, and if we need them, we can go into Dragoon, Quintet, whatever we need. This card is the card that helps us get our Polys and Super Poly. Really powerful card. I'm surprised it hasn't got touched on the ban list that recently came out. Next up, we got Breaker of the Sword. This is a really good card because since we're running spellcasters, whenever a spell is summoned to 0, it gets a counter. Then I can take off some counters, and you can destroy some of your opponent's monsters. So it's a really, really good card for a spellcaster deck. And our last card is the Code Talker. The Code Talker is one of the, well, at first it was, now we have more powerful ones, but it's still a good Link 3 where you can actually protect your monsters. Knowing that it can get really, really strong. Knowing that it's a Link 3, so if we need more arrows for our Links, we can use them. Anyways, that's the deck. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And also, if you guys want more Yu-Gi-Oh! Content like this, maybe an update to this deck in the future, don't forget to click subscribe. Knowing that, I'm going to hopefully be doing a box opening of Phantom Rage or the one because I'm not done with that set, because I still want a Starlight Rare, I don't own one, or Zeus. Also, like if you actually enjoyed this video, and comment down below what other cards I can implement in this deck, or what cards I can make it better. I really appreciate your help. And also, don't forget to click the bell icon so whenever I upload a video like this, you'll be notified straight away. So make sure you click subscribe, like, and the bell icon. Anyways guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys on the next one. Later guys.